Start live streaming. Seems to be going now. I don't know if it's
Really?
YouTube that fucked up or me, but we seem to be going.
We're back.
Yeah.
All right, Al.
Don't worry, be happy now.
It's
I need to go watch this.
yeah.
Nope.
Watch
Can't
what?
see it.
Well, that's odd. It says we're
I can
streaming.
almost take my glasses off.
Where are we streaming at?
Cool.
YouTube still.
So it says.
Yeah. Oh, that's so. We're receiving your content. YouTube is having a slow day, it seems.
Oh. So, but I can't find the live video on your channel.
No, nor can I. But now I see it on my. There it is. We're at good now. It's 72A. It should be.
All right. I can't find it, but if we're live, we're live.
Yeah, we're live on my back end anyway. The
Nice.
internet can totally see you now. To stop, use your encoder. It says on YouTube's back end. I see myself on here. So.
Oh, okay. So, hang on. I have a lot of Danes.
That was pretty
wrote
good.
Me. I'm just gonna write them back.
Let's see if I can find us.
There it is. I see it.
Yay!
Boom.
Welcome back. Bastards.
Yeah.
YouTube communist, man. That's what happened.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's like, what the hell's going on? I mean, this is literally a YouTube thing.
Christian is saying, thank you.
You're welcome. Nice.
Yep. We're back.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Hope this.
All right. So, Michael, how has your week been? You got the 50s and then what?
Yeah, and I finally, as you can see, hung my 17s. And
He's all up all over those because they sound great. Douche. I'm jealous now. Fuck.
Yeah, you should, everybody, if you have the opportunity, get height speakers.
Yep.
I mean,
The true image processor on height speakers is freaking amazing.
I never tried the heights, for God's sakes. I gotta do it now.
It's doing a really, really good job. I mean,
So you have the 17 set to surround height,
yes.
and then the 18s are now surround back.
Yes.
Which
Try watching Black Hawk Down.
I will.
It is amazing.
I mean, I haven't yet. I've mostly listened to music, and one of my new favorite ways to listen to music is surround 6, where the TV is off. And
see, now I understand when I had the 6 speakers here why you don't need it. It brings it down, in my opinion.
well, not only that, actually, with them being up high, it sort of gives you an extra sense of spacious and airiness that is quite surprising, really, because you don't really hear that they're there. But when you turn them off, you notice that they're not there. And it's
immersive.
Yeah, when they're off, the sound sort of sounds flat throughout the room because the 18s aren't that much taller than the 50s. But
I did it with the Lab 4s in the ceiling, and I mean, wow, it's pretty good.
You had the Lab 4s because that's what I got. I'm thinking of doing too. I have one extra transmitter, so I can put one on the wall where the cables don't reach, and then the other one can just run up. But my question is, how far forward should I put them from the 18s, from the 90s?
Well, I actually I did it in the front. So I had at that time I had the Beolab 9s, those stupid Santa Claus things, and then I had them in the ceiling above it, and it worked amazing.
I wonder where I should put those.
I mean, I have them literally next to me.
I would, if I had to do it today, I would probably do it a bit like Michael. I would put him in the middle of the room, pointing down, and then I'll put him as surround heights.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it looks like it or not, but they're quite high up. Like, my ceiling is about 2.60 meters or so. And I only had the stupid B&O brackets, but I put some wedges behind it. So this one is pointing down more than this one is, but the one over here is also farther away from the couch. I mean, there's like 2.5 meters from that to the beginning of the couch. So the angle is kind of fine, really.
Okay.
And good thing is with the brushed aluminium, you can't really see the logo.
Yeah, the black ones will drive you nuts.
Yeah, I sent you the pictures, Willie, and I can't see the logo on it. It's, if anything, a bit of a smudge. But then you stand like the speaker.
Take some steel wool and just chafe it up.
But you know that the logo is upside down.
Henrik, shut up.
I mean, I can't help it.
You'd probably come in there and just like, oh man, everything's cool, but the logos are upside down. I don't like it. I can't have that setup.
See ya.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I don't really care all that much because I prefer to watch the TV and or the 50s.
I'm actually thinking that if I were to put, I'm sitting so far up, too close to the 18s. I'm 1.6 and 1.8 meters from the back of them, and they're more or less at the level that you're. Well, that's my surrounds, right? So I'm thinking like at that level, wouldn't that make more sense to have them as heights and then put the lap 4s on the counter and set them as surrounds back? Because the center back has no function feature whatsoever, as far as I found out, which still pisses me off.
So wait, do you have your 18 set as surround or as backs? Do you know?
Surround left and right.
Yeah. Because I found out looking through it that my dealer had set my 18s, which are way far back over there, to surrounds. And if you go by the Dolby thing, they should be set to left back and left or right back.
No.
Well, I pulled up the Dolby chart, and that's literally what it said.
If you only have the 5 channels, it should not be set as back. It should be set as surround. No matter what. You need 7 channels to use.
It'll decode messed up if you have
the back.
I agree with Henrik. You lose.
I know. I'm fucking educated from
I know too.
Fuck you guys.
I'm not fucking fuck off. I'm not agreeing. I'm disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know.
Because I went through the whole Dolby training course too, but it's yeah.
This topic is actually the reason why I got into the Bang and Olufsen technical forum on YouTube. Because a lot of people from the Bang and Olufsen technicians has been out doing setups for people, and they have put it as back surround as well. And it's not back surround when you only have 5.1 channels. If you have 5.1 channels, you have left, center, right. You have a subwoofer. You have left and right surround. You additionally to this, you can put surround back, left and right, and that is a 7.1 system.
Yeah, Christian says though, but no matter what you do, the true image won't really care what you set the back to surround or back, if it's only 5.1. One thing I did notice though, with the two extra channels and having set the 18s to back,
I have to disagree with Christian on this, because when I tried to put my Beolab 12.3s as back, they changed. It didn't play out the same thing as the surround. So I don't agree with you, Christian.
I tried the same thing, I know.
If you only have a 5.1 system, it is surround, left, and right. No back.
Amen.
Thank you.
Baby got back.
Well, the one thing I must say though,
Nice.
having now with the extra 2 channels and putting the 18s as actual back speakers in the TV, they sound a lot fuller than they ever did as surround. I haven't really tested them to put it back to 5.1 and see if it's still the same or not, but probably do that later tonight.
Why don't you just set a whole bunch of... I would do a whole bunch of crazy speaker groups, man. Fuck, like I've done with mine, just to experiment with.
Mm.
Yeah, I already have that sort.
I mean, I've done the work on it, and I've tried everything. I think I was the first person in the world to add 11 channels to a Beovision 11 because you could, and it didn't really work as it should. So it took I think 1 year and 2-3 months before everything actually worked as it should. But I mean, I've tested it, and I've tested everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's... Did you ever get center back channel working?
Yes.
And how did you make that happen?
I tried with a Beolab 7.1, and that fucked up the whole system. So I actually had to reset everything to factory. And then I tried with, was it a Beolab 6000 as a center back, and that worked. But every time I added the 7.1, or maybe it was 7.2, I don't know. I just did it to try it, and it fucked up the system every freaking time.
Weird.
Yep. It was like a software thing that everything just inside the Beovision 11 just exploded and nothing worked.
So will he maybe try with an 18 or a Beolab 4 or something like that?
I promise you I will test
it
when I come back home, but right now I'm house sitting. So when I come back home, I will test it definitely.
Because I had 7.4 as a center back on a WISA receiver.
Yeah, I think there is something with the 7s that doesn't work. I don't know.
But you know what though, Henrik? I actually set it to Beolab 3 in the TV as well, and it was the same result.
I tried that too with the 7.2. And I set it as I think it was a 6,000 or 8,000 or something, and it fucked up anyway.
But see, for me, when I had a 7.1 here, and I had the 7.1 set as a left back and right back because the surrounds were as 18s, it worked flawlessly. It's just a bitch to deal with it all the time and move it back and forth and fucking plugging it in. I got tired of that, right? And there's really nowhere, like you could glue on those goofy WISA receivers onto it, but I just I don't want to, like, it's so much to plug, because there's 3 things now you got to plug in: left, right, channel, and a goddamn speaker itself. So and there's just too much real estate that it takes on the table, so I took it out. Versus how much movies I actually watch and consume as far as Netflix is concerned. So yeah, but the 7.1, no matter how you cheat that goofy TV, it is not picking it up. Though interestingly enough, if it's set through WISA, it actually measures the distances on their own. It doesn't do that through PowerLink. So like when I measured the 90s, like with the microphone, right, the assisted calibration wizard thing, whatever, it will set the distances for, it used to be when I had 17s there, it would set the distances for 17s and 18s, and not the 90s and the TV itself. Actually, no, it didn't do the TV itself, I don't think, from what I remember. It's weird.
I mean, I didn't have any issues when I used a 6000 as a center back.
Yeah.
that worked flawlessly. I tried it with, if I remember correctly, Pacific Rim. It's not a porn movie. It's about. It's about
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, and it worked.
It's a Danish porn. Fuck. Pacific Rim. Right on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but speaking of piss off, the major piss off right now in my house is the Beosound Moment, and the center ring, speaking of fucking rims, doesn't work no more.
Lick it a bit.
Really?
Maybe
So-
it'll open up.
Have you tried to?
Apparently,
just
based
push
on
it
yeah,
gentle?
that's right.
You need to do.
Oh, I
gentle,
pushed
Willie.
the gentle. I factory reset. I've done everything that one can conceive of doing. The weird thing is that after I factory reset, it did pull up some of the metadata as far as the album covers for things that weren't there before, but no success with the fact of that green or the inner ring, your music, right? So essentially, what happens now, if you pick a track, the entire pattern play is now not working. So
So you had the best idea, Henrik. Just create a fake moment.
Foment. But you know what though? I think the biggest piss off, like I like the way that it looks in the kitchen because it kind of looks like a knife block. But I just don't like the fact that. I think at some point it's going to turn out that way because I have no fucking use for it now other than it's a very, very, very expensive tuning radio player.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it turned out to be. It's a very expensive tuning
or
radio
your iPad or whatever for that.
And quite honestly, like, yeah, I'm going to retire that thing to the fucking bedroom. And
the only
now
thing,
the thought is also to put the transmitters on it.
I have actually thought about buying a Moment. And I think it's a stupid product. And I hate using it. But the only thing I really dig about it is that you can just touch it and it will start playing music.
Not anymore.
In that case, I bought an Essence remote.
Does the same job.
Yep. But it's not as pretty. We like pretty.
Yeah, but it has to at least be
functional. Amazing. I mean, the moment.
I don't like the fact that now Beosound 5 now still has the equivalent functionality it had when it came out in 2007. Sans the Spotify, which was introduced after the launch anyways, and it wasn't really the part of it, but it grew out of necessity, and it's no longer a part of it anyways now. But you still can browse your music through the gateway. You still do it through the Beo6 remote. You can that goofy ass mod still works because it's built in the system. Where you're what am I relying on now? A subscription.
You have the digital.
Beo's paying their bills on the what? Yeah, well, you could actually connect lap 5s to it properly. Exactly. Where in the Moment, I was surprised that the Moment wouldn't connect the 90s properly. They're still listed as other.
Yeah,
because there's no sound profile for
shit. On the 5 Beosound 5, you can actually connect your lap 5s through the digital output and input.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can properly connect the lap 5s to that. Yep. There's a preset for this goddamn thing too.
And you get the CD
and essentially
into the 5s and everything.
If you were to connect the Beosound 5 into the 90s through the SPDIF, I think you could do the same thing with the power link. Like if the power link is hooked up in SPDIF, I think you should be able to regulate the volume.
Oh yeah, you can. I have a buddy who does this. So you can use the volume and you get the SPDIF connection through the Beo Master 5.
Into the 90s?
No, into the 5s.
Nice. No, but I'm talking about the 90s. I think the 90s should work the same way still, hopefully.
Maybe. I think so.
Well, if they volume regulated for the 5s, why wouldn't it be for the 90s?
Because 90s, when they detect the SPDIF, I'm worried that they do not take the data from the power link anymore. They just go through the SPDIF, and then the only way to modulate the volume is either having a link I connected directly to the ass end of the master, or through the app, sliding back and forth.
Maybe. You could be true.
Because I have the 9000 hooked up directly through SPDIF, Sounds PowerLink. But if I press CD on the actual Beo Remote 1, it'll call it up through the converter, and it turns on the CD player. But then I don't have it anymore because I reset the piss out of my TV again. But I had the SPDIF speaker group, like a CD speaker group, 9000 speaker group on the Avant, that would also set the speaker preset on the Lab 90s to the source input of SPDIF with the tuning of SPDIF, which I would add, I think, 6 decibels per speaker because the SPDIF channels were way too low comparing to, like, when you switch back to the digital media of the moment, it fucking blows the windows out. So I had to ramp that up. But 6 dBs is a lot of diffy, man, especially on the 90s. Like, you don't mess around with that shit, especially after fucking 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's like volume 45 versus volume 60 is like, holy hell. That's a lot.
Oh, I listened to... Speaking of bass, you sent me that little track, 2 minute long, whatever. Yeah. I don't know why I cannot remember the names today, but the track that I got on the playlist, I think I should set up a Deezer public account so people can actually see some things that I listened to on the 90s and how to properly move your wine glasses on the shelves with this shit. So I listened to one track, dude. The bass was so crazy. What, this? Oh, well, yeah, because it's sitting on the goddamn things. I'm talking just virtually just air transfer, not vibration. But, yeah, speaking of the little cloudy elephant in the room, I like that, the New York edition. I really do. I dig that whole floating look that it has.
I do, too. I just can't get it out of my head, so, yeah, fuck.
Well, it is one of the better colors.
But, I mean, I didn't know that...
I think it's a beautiful color.
I mean, I used it yesterday for a party, and they came around 3, and it has been playing all day, all night, and sometime in the night around 2, 3 a.m., I passed out somewhere. So I can't.
You know, dates having 16-hour parties and shit. Damn.
I can't remember me getting into bed, and I woke up this morning in my boxers and a sweatshirt. So.
Adam says hi,
the wife
by the way,
changed.
Henrik.
Huh?
Adam says hi.
Adam.
Who's Adam?
Maybe it was at your party. I don't know.
No.
That's the guy that puked on the shoes.
No, but I mean, when I woke up this morning, I was just like, eggs and bacons, and I got up, and then I had to go to work because of the Formula One, and yeah, it's been a rough day. Yeah. But I got to drive the fun car because the weather outside was amazing today, so that was pretty good.
Same here. It was quite warm.
This is probably one of the last days here now. It's officially 22nd is the end of summer, right? September 22. I don't know if you Euros have that shit or the EU changed it to like 28 or something.
I honestly don't care that much because you said it's warm at 11 degrees. It's like, Jesus, that's fall, winter sort of temperatures here.
You motherfuckers be running around in jackets and shit. Like when I was in Denmark in November, I was the only dickhead running around in short sleeves with people having like 3 scarves around their necks and 4 jackets on.
I mean,
and then there's
it's been into the 20s today.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I had the best drive into the work and the best drive home. It was good.
Was it the Skyline then?
Yeah.
So it's all fixed and whatnot?
Yeah, it's out in the garage.
Okay, nice.
So it was a lot of boom, 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 bang, 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 and whatever.
I take it you don't have your diff welded then? Oh, you do? So it's boom, 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 boom.
Yep. I was doing skits around the parking lot today when I arrived.
Nice. That's the good intro to go to work on Saturday.
Yeah, you just know that everybody who looks at you is just like, oh, that fucking dickhead. You just know you look like a major cock in that car. So, yeah.
Oh.
Nissan Skyline.
Yeah.
Is that yeah? See, I'm not much for the Japan mobiles or whatever. I don't like. I used to drive a Nissan too, but
we have
when
an A6.
well, that's fine. I respect that a lot. I just I wouldn't even buy. See, like I understand because when I lived in Europe before we moved here, I also drooled over North American cars, right? Because they're cool and you know till you fucking sit in them, and then you look at the build quality and it's just shit. And the buttons in the stereo has been the same for 25 years.
There's a reason why they're cheap.
I'm not talk about Teslas because Tesla is a completely different category of shitty build. Yep. But when it comes to the North American cars, like what blew my mind is that the Pontiac Transport, which was the first North American piece of shit we bought in 1999 for $1,300. My dad was like, "That's fucking a lot of money for this thing, right?" And you almost had to take out the entire engine block to change the motor for the wipers when it died because the car was built all fucked up.
Yeah,
but regardless of that, like the thing just it's man, like the same button scheme that was on that car, which was we didn't buy it brand new, like it was already from the mid 90s, if not early 90s. The same buttons are in the Jeeps freaking in 2005. I'm like, what? Like, how many did you guys make of those that you just like, okay, well, we need to run out of this shit because, like, it's not even worth recycling anymore because it's fucking Bakelite or some crap.
But I mean, so, the cool thing about the Japanese car is that you have a stupid engine that is, you can do whatever you want to.
2 bars of boost.
You can push 1,000 horsepower out of it if you want to.
Oh, I understand that, but
100 kilos.
Yeah, but you know, like if you look at like, I guess if I were
the build quality ain't good. No. I mean,
no.
I right now I'm driving around in my mom's Jaguar. She just got an XE from 2019, I think.
Oh, she's got the
it's really nicely built. But I'd rather have a BMW M3. I mean,
yeah, same.
Oh my god, I just blew up twice. What? Really? Fuck off.
I love BMW.
My phone overheating yet? Fuck. I can't believe my phone overheated.
I tried that in Thailand.
Well, don't reach your phone? What was her name?
Chiang Mai. No, I got persuaded into going to the pool and just hang around, which I freaking hate. Because what should I do when I lay there? And then I took my phone and tried to play something, and 2 minutes after it says, "Well, I'm overheated, so turn me off." And I was just like, "Fuck, I'm gonna go down."
I don't understand. I honestly, I don't get how women can just sit on the beach like that for hours on end. Like I can't do it. Nope. I can do it. I dig myself a little burrow right at where the water crests to the sand, and then I get 2 mojitos, 1 for each hand, and then I'm busy.
Yeah.
So you're German, basically.
I just sit there in a fucking pool of my own everything, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I just can't deal with sitting on the beach and just, like, cook. I can't cook.
No.
I'm Canadian, dude. Like, for me, 10 degrees, I'm just, like, I'm sweating it here. No, I can't do it.
By the way, Eric had a question about Wysa. He can't find a user guide on how to use it nor user experiences. Is there any step-by-step guide how to use it, and would you recommend it or rather still use cables?
Rather use cables, definitely, but quite honestly, on the scenario and what speakers you have or level of speakers you have.
The flexibility.
And the flexibility is just absolutely... There's nothing that can beat that. And quite honestly, if you go all the way up to 20s with the Wysa, I think you're safe with the sound quality and the resolution that those speakers can produce based on the transmission capabilities.
For these guys, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually, especially for this one, it saves a heck of a lot on the cable mess.
I've tried both Wysa and PowerLink on the 50s. I mean... Everything works. I mean, the Wysa is just easy.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like Wi-Fi, but without the passwords, and it's literally connect,
it's
and
digital.
done.
It's not analog.
Yeah.
You need to move the speaker, you unplug it, you push it back into the wall socket, 7 seconds later you got music again. No hassle, no fuss, no fucking around with connectors, digging for the RJ45.
I would definitely use Visa for the 19.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep, I would.
I mean, the only speakers I wouldn't really recommend it for are 5s, 50s, and 90s. I mean, on the 50s and 90s it works, but it's more of a sort of like if you can't do anything else, it works.
Yeah, I mean,
you lose the compensation in the room.
Yeah,
there is something with the ADDA converter on the 50s with the power link that just have some magic sauce somewhere compared to the Visa, but on every other speaker I would just use Visa if it's possible.
Well, it's also a data limit, as in the Visa goes up to 24-bit 92 kilohertz, and the
96.
And the wired goes up to 24-bit 192 kilohertz.
Yes.
So
or the USB.
And also, especially in like 50s and probably the same for 90s, I feel like they sound different in the sense that everything's bumped a little bit. Like there's a little bit more mid-range, there's a little bit more bass just to sort of cover it up. That the full-on room compensation isn't there.
Yep.
The wool over your ears.
Yeah.
Great.
No, I found after resisting for so long, when I wired them in and I actually did some critical listening, there is definitely more spaciousness and definition in the wired connection than the Visa. But then again, I had 17s wired to a moment, and I had them wireless at the moment. Could not tell the diffy.
No.
Yeah. Because also, like,
there is
the 17s and the 18s are limited to the max of Visa anyway. So it doesn't really...
You need... I think even the 5s go to 96 kilohertz. So the 5s you can do with the Visa as well. But the 50s and the 90s definitely go to...
But then you have to get Steve's solution because there's a...
but then you're using the RCA line inputs, though. So then it's not really that good of a quality step, in my opinion. Right? Because it's a line in that you're using for the Visa. For the Visa on the 5s.
No. I mean, on the 5s, I would definitely just use PowerLink.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can use Visa directly. You have to use the Steve solution where you actually go through the RCA line level inputs because the Visa transmitters and receivers don't do the data connection, right? So there's no volume communicating between.
The RCA input with the 96 kilo, I know I would just use PowerLink. Yeah. But on the 50s and the 90s, I would use PowerLink as well.
Yeah.
I've actually used a calibration mic to figure out the difference between the Visa and the PowerLink, so I actually have data on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't show you that. Then I have to kill you.
Well, from like without even a calibration mic, like my ears tell me that 50s wired sound better than Visa, even if you level them.
I agree.
Basically. That's your thing.
I didn't level shit when I first hooked them up, and I could hear the difference immediately. The first time we turn them on, and it's just son of a bitch. Like there is a 20% increase in quality, in my opinion. Like it really is, especially with the noise compensation or the room calibration compensation, whatever. It's absolutely outstanding. I vacuumed my speakers this morning.
If you're gonna connect
so Eric asked, how would I connect a 19 with Visa to a non-B&O receiver?
You won't. Just stupid.
Yeah, get a transmitter one.
No, get the cable.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a non-B&O TV...
Get a cable.
Yeah, I guess it works, but if you want the wireless thing, per se, get a transmitter one.
My question is, do you have more than 2 speakers in the system? Like, are you using actually surround? Because if you're not, you can pipe in the optical output from the TV directly into the transmitter, and then set it to 2.1 non-B&O, and then B&O, and then it will shave off the bass frequency and put it on the 19, and then whatever for speakers you've got, they will not be as stressed.
Yeah.
That's what I think you should do.
But
we just got a text back from Jeff Martin about the back speakers and the surround speakers.
Sweet, let's see it. Hear it.
And Jeff says that there should be no difference between if you put it as a left back and a surround left or surround back left. There shouldn't be any difference as long as you're only using those two terms as surround speakers. But I mean, I have to disagree still. But this is from Jeff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have to disagree because I've tested it and...
How dare you?
Fuck Jeff. No. I mean, there was a big difference. But
how dare you disagree with our Lord and Savior?
Well...
That's right. Dude, that's instant abomination.
You're banned.
Unshun. That's right. Shun and unshun. I don't know. I also heard the Diffie a little bit, so
I mean,
I played around with it. But I played around with it at the showroom when maybe the Beosystem 4 software wasn't really at the level that it is now or finalized, because we all know that everything works once it's discontinued, and that thing was still in production when I was playing
I've
with
tested it, and there is a big difference. So I don't really understand why Jeff says this, but I mean...
I'll independently test it later tonight, see what happens.
I mean...
Mr. Martin, we need you on the podcast.
You can trust Jeff or you can trust me. I would definitely go with Jeff.
I trust Jeff, motherfucker, any day of the week. I shook the dude's hand. I'm going to trust him good. Oh, boy.
I mean, it's like going into the church and say you hate Jesus. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Who's this guy on the cross?
It's Jeff Martin.
I mean, if all else fails, by that I mean design, at least the sound design, thanks to Jeff mostly, will sound fantastic. So even if you think, well, it's not my style, it still looks or sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And
but I have to disagree. Sorry, Jeff.
That's okay.
It may also have been just your 12s acting up.
I mean, I've tested this with a set of Beovision 11 with 8,000 and 6,000. I've tested it with the 12.3s. I've tested it with the 9s. I mean, I've tested this with every speaker I got into the house, and there is a difference.
Just to change gears for a little bit, you know what I wonder? I wonder at what point of this podcast my phone will set itself on fire. Because it's fucking hot.
Oh, dude,
it's cooking. So, but I have this huge ass B&O umbrella over top of it, and it's holding its ground for now.
What phone is it? It's still the Samsung one?
This is the Samsung S10. Yeah, no, I went from iPad to this because I don't want to hold the fucking iPad like a jerk off for an hour and a half.
Wow,
so
that's kind of terrible that in 10, 11 degrees Celsius it overheats like that for something as simple as this.
Yeah, but it was in a direct sunlight to its defense, and it's probably, I don't even know what temperature it is. Hold on. I'm going to scream at Google. Everybody mute your shit. Hey, Google, what's the...
Stop.
Hey, Google, what's the outside temperature? Oh, it's 21 already. Fucking hell. Never mind. It was 10 degrees when I lit this.
Yeah. Back to WISA and whatnot and setting up. WISA is actually, I mean, it depends a bit. If in my previous place where there were a bunch more neighbors and it wasn't concrete, where you got something like 20, 30-ish Wi-Fi signals in your apartment, then WiSA can be a bit spotty. Especially if somebody has an Airport Extreme, one of the older Apple routers, because they don't stick to spec all that much, so they kind of come into the WiSA range.
The reason why I got a Beolab 19 was because I want to throw Bang and Olufsen under the bus. I want to show them that they sold a product that it says on the page, it will connect through WiSA and it will just work. In my apartment, we have like 100 Wi-Fis or something like that, and it worked flawlessly all the time. I never had one issue. Never had one issue. It just worked.
I agree with you, Henrik. I've never... You know what, though? I agree, but I disagree on one level. When I had the Beosound Moment connected via WiSA to the 90s, the black ones that I had at the time, every time I would turn on the microwave, I cut the shit.
Just throw that
wired
out of the door. It's the moment. Everything
or it's the microwave and you're just cooking on the outside.
It was the microwave, but now, for some reason, well, everything is wired now anyways, and the TV is commanding the whole system at this point. I have no issues whatsoever. I did have issues with the stuttering of the tune-in and the deezer, which we talked about, not on podcast, but I think me and you, Mikey, we talked about that. So for people that I guess that experiencing the same issue, you got to log the fuck out and log back into all of your devices. So if you have a lot of B&O, like myself, then it's a tedious task of you. Well,
it's the Beosound Moment is a problem that keeps on giving, basically. It's a jolly good fun.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have any.
It's like they designed it as like, okay, how can we make Beosound 5 shittier with a removable screen? That's basically what they had done. Because I remember the times with the Beosound 5, and I don't know, for whatever the never-ending Bang & Olufsen wisdom was, they always would do the software updates on Thursday night in Canada. And then everything drove to shit on Friday morning when you woke up and you want to have entertained people. And there's a couple times that it happened that they actually uploaded the wrong software by mistake on the FTP side where the Beosound 5 pulls from. And it effed up. Oh my god, it boned mine a couple times so bad. I'm like, this is absolutely fucked now. And then it corrected itself and it works now. It absolutely works. But it's a system that was never designed for the plethora of music that people used to put on it, right? Because back in the day, I would call it the hard drive wars, right? Where it didn't matter what music you had as long as you had more fucking terabytes on the hard drive than the other dude. That's how dicks were measured in Calgary back in the yesteryears of music.
I think that was a worldwide thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, but nowadays, just like Kieran did, get some, I think it's DDR2 RAM, like get 2 extra sticks of that, chug it in and put in an SSD, and you're good to go.
I have one moment, Beosound 5 sitting in my repairman's shop that is mine now because the dude backed out of it, and I haven't gotten drunk enough to agree to $1,000 US fucking motherboard that is worth $35 in the goddamn market to buy for that moment, the Beomaster 5. But maybe one day there's gonna be enough bourbon in me that I'll call him up and like, let's get it down, boy. It ain't happening so far. But I wouldn't mind actually putting one up with the SSD drive and then link that useless moment into it now, and so at least it can play the content that I have.
I think it's kind of funny. I always like the Beosound 5 more for its design because the moment sort of looked, to me. It's like it's nice, but I like the Beosound 5 more because it's more futuristic looking. And now, like 5 years later, it actually works better than the.
But I like the wood.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Then again,
at least I wasn't the one that said it this time around. Fucking no, I do appreciate the wood on it too. It's definitely, it gives that natural back to the basics look to the music, in my opinion. And what in the hell are you doing over there? Motherfucking munchies. What is that? That's a fucked up looking
like
cashew. That's what
bacon
that
or something.
This is Danish.
No,
It's
this is Danish bacon. It's called bacon.
Listen.
Right on. That in English.
Gammeldagsflæskesvær or something?
It is a pig skin.
Oh, so it's crackling basically.
Mm. It's like the best thing of a pork belly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Crackling.
Yeah, other than the umbilical cord, I guess. Fucking hell. So, yeah. I lost train of thoughts watching
guys.
Now that I know what that is, I'm like, oh no. What's going on in the chat? Because I'm having a cigar outside. I can't see shit.
People is writing flips.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for my phone to blow up. Or delaminate from heat because it's all glass that it's stuck to it.
Yeah, who knows?
I gotta say, I do like the phone.
Christian is,
but I hate the big
that he
on Samsung.
Dark wood. I would
Sorry,
really
what?
The moment with the smoked oak.
Yeah.
I like the moment.
To each their own. I don't really care for either. I mean, especially at this point, I think you're almost better off with a core.
Oh yeah, the core is amazing.
Can you, or has anybody done that? Not that you put a core directly behind the Avant, but put it in there or link it to as a primary. Had anybody play with that around yet? Because you still can do the Beolink on it, right? Because I'm thinking of doing that, putting the core on the TV as an audio master, and get that cutting board in my fucking bedroom so it plays my CBC radio in the morning only, and it still takes the IR and light commands, and I can bypass the link eyes and all the nonsensical headache that I have to deal with right now.
I don't really know.
Have it there.
I mean,
because I find myself using the app more than I use the moment at this point of time.
Just sell the moment. It's useless.
I can't fucking sell it with my clear conscience, Mikey. That's my problem right now. Like, I'm not gonna sell it for $500. I'd rather keep it in my bedroom to wake me up in the morning.
Give it to Nick.
But I'm not. Fuck off. No, I don't want to give it away yet. Not yet.
Oh dear fucking Lord, YouTube is at it again.
Really?
Yeah.
YouTube, you sucks YouTube.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't like.
This is like the Danish surstrømning. This is what we.
Does it stink bad?
No, it smells amazing.
It can be that bad, dude. Surstrømning is
really bad breath when you eat it.
Yeah, but with surströmming, do you have like the awful burps with it? Does it come back to haunt you?
Oh yeah.
Because the problem with surströmming, it's like, you always get the residual interest fees and shit. Like every time you burp, it's like, oh, all this is dead pig.
That's fat.
Mm-hmm. And it's fried.
Mac nasty.
It is.
I really like this nicely aged Monte Cristo Habano cigar. This one is a fucking treat. It's a treat. I don't know if we are. This whole thing is just today.
Yeah,
we're live. Good. Mikey's panicking in the background.
No, I'm really annoyed because it's very hard to tell if it's my end or anything else.
It's not your end, I think.
No, I mean, whilst doing this, I'm pulling a speed test, and we're doing just fine on the speed test. So,
but I just tried to do a live session from here, and that actually worked. Now we're offline.
Yeah. God damn it!
Listen, better than 2 guys, fucking 3 guys with enough dick to be left over. I don't like that. That's weird that this is like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my internet is more than fine. It's like 200, and it's over fiber. So, what are you going to do with that? It's fine.
What are you going to do about it? Is it still recording?
Yeah. But
then let's just carry on, man. Be crying over this like a fucking dead guy now and shit. He don't know.
I think your phone
He
is
don't know
getting
you
very
miss-
hot, though.
Oh yeah, buddy.
I mean,
I just touched it and it's
Henrik is perfectly fluent, and you go choppy sometimes, and I'm not sure if that's your internet or if it's your phone just overheating.
I think my phone is overheating to tits and it's in the direct shadow. Like that's fucked up. How it saddens me how
Just
little
get an
that can
iPhone;
handle.
it's better.
I can't anymore. I've committed to this now.
Well, that's
for
dumb.
a few years.
Well,
it seems like we're back up. At least on my end, we are. We're back up.
Yeah,
that's a lot of issues today.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like even my ping is below 15 milliseconds.
Holy shit balls! That's good. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's odd if my ping even goes over 15. Normally, it's somewhere between 3 and 10.
Your ping?
Yeah.
Wow, my ping is below 1 at home. Not here.
Really?
Like 50 or something.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I have a better connection when I have to maintain our servers at the workplace from my house than if I go to the actually factory where I work and use Wi-Fi.
And plug in directly? That's funny, man.
Yeah,
wow.
So if I use Wi-Fi on the job, I have a less, like a worse connection than I do with the fiber back home in my apartment.
So what if you VPN to the system? Like, is it still faster over the network?
Yeah,
LTE network or no?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Oh, here's to you. Score.
Oh, cool.
Have some of those fucking pork bits there.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So, this stupid thing here?
Yeah.
Put it more to the other side because I can't see it. There you go.
In there's the power connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the power cable for this thing is really hard to get in there.
In and out?
Huh?
Lube it.
In and out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a little hair. Yeah. Get a little hair on it.
If you do a transportable speaker, why do you make a connection that hard? Why don't you do because we have Sonos here with this plug, so you just do it like this?
But that's a feature you can
Get
buy.
one of those coffee table chargers. Yeah, man. Stop being a dickhead and just invest some money.
So I just bought a product for 13,000 Danish kroner, which is like $1 million Canadian and like a lot of euros. And
It's about
I didn't have to buy another product to make my life easier.
$200, I think it is, isn't it? Something like that.
€125, I think.
It's a quick disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so $200.
Not gonna happen.
It's a quick disconnect, and that's cool. I agree with you completely because I have the same problem with mine, and that's why I don't really pull it out of the bathroom to go out on the balcony. And another problem that I have with it, because of the way that the gateway is set up, when I go into the bathroom, the music turns up, and then I put it up here, and then when the bathroom turns down or turns off the light, it turns down my music as I'm sitting here. So then I crank it up, then I go pee, and then it does the whole fucking thing all over again. So, no. That's why I'm actually looking for, and we've talked about it a while back, as far as what is the lowest latency Bluetooth transmitter I can buy. Because I would like to make a speaker group in my TV that actually puts it to the balcony, which would be the transmitter that is now in the back of the Avant. And I use my Burger /A1 that I can put in here, and it plays in the link mode with the rest of it, but via Bluetooth. Because on the balcony, I don't give a fuck. Even if I forget it here, who cares? It's an A1. It's, you know, like that thing is pretty damn waterproof as is, and the crows and shit are not gonna take it from here, because that's another thing that I have to contempt with this fucking birds stealing stuff from balconies.
Yeah, I get your frustration though, because I think especially with the New York edition, you should get the power connection plug thingy with it.
I don't care about the connection plug. I just want a plug that goes in.
Yeah, but like they have that as an accessory, and that accessory.
I know, but then you have that thing on.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're cheap.
Oh, you have a PS1 as well.
Who, me?
What?
Yeah. Show it to me.
We all have a Beosound one, and we all suffer with this equal fucking pain, dude. So there's really no ground you got to stand on here, buddy.
The plate, you can get a plate for the Beosound 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
It's not that big.
It's
not
just
that stupid, right?
It completely transformed the product to be elegant to stupid.
I agree, and that's why you suffer with the goddamn cord, bro.
Yep.
That's it. Be happy you don't have it hardwired, motherfucker, because then you have two of them to deal with.
It's like when you look at the Beosound 1, it's like, oh, that's a beautiful product and everything, and then you put that plate on, and it's just like, look, Mom, I'm a retard. It's crazy.
It's called a Down syndrome accessory.
Well, I'm not down with it.
I'm not down with it either. I honestly, I suffer with mine, but that's the reason why I go with what I would call it's a Danish definite word, workaround, is to get that Bluetooth transmitter to the balcony, because I don't unplug it. Also, Christian, question for you, if you're still watching. What brand is the goofy little hardwire thing that you can get for the Beosound or Beoplay M3? Because it's got a micro USB port in, and apparently there is a micro USB to network of some sorts. Because I would really love to hardwire the son of a bitch in one of my clients' places.
You can just buy a normal adapter. You can just buy
I have a D-Link adapter, but it's got a chunky USB one, right? So I need to get like converter cables and all that other stuff. No, but I really would like to get.
You can buy a cable with it, and it's just you can buy it from everywhere. Just buy a connector, and then you can use the Ethernet connection.
Okay, Amazon, here I come.
It's like $3.50 or something like that.
Yeah, fuck. If you could see the stream now, Willie, there's actually a picture of it.
I can't see anything. What I'm looking at is my phone that's about to catch fucking fire, and you're slightly. I just see your ear, and I see Mikey properly. Oh, I see that. Okay.
Yeah, the
people.
But I mean, it's a really, really cool add-on that you can actually do this. So big thumbs up to Bang and Olufsen for actually
considering that.
Like it's pretty amazing, because it means that it has to have some kind of, not a big computer but at least some kind of computer inside the unit. But it's pretty cool.
That computes all that shit.
I
like it. What's the wooden thing? Because I completely missed it at the beginning offline thing before we like disconnected for 20 minutes and had a whole bunch of power cycling to do. So what's with the Hindenmobile there?
Oh, do you remember we talked when we had the Danes showing all the pictures?
The monkey. I know the goofy ass monkey, right? So that has something to do with
guy. I found this in my dad's cinema, and it's called the Limousine from Kai Boysen.
It's ridiculously expensive.
I don't know if it's expensive or not, but I just found it, and I was just like, this looks like...
that looks like it's carved by Geppetto.
It looks
That's what that looks like.
And then I was just like, here.
So if you lie to it, it'll raise the suspension?
I don't know. I don't think so. There's a steering wheel in it.
Holy fuck, look at the detail.
There's even a monkey for on the inside.
Yep, you could probably put a monkey in it.
Well, I'm looking at the website and it has a monkey in it.
It does have a monkey. Oh, they took
For the love of
like
Christ, it's holy. This is the time that I'm going to bathroom. Let you sit here and see if this phone heats itself, and I come back to a fire and losing my only limited edition fucking Golf B&O umbrella at the same time. I'll be right back.
So is it 32 centimeters? Oh, that's not too bad. The 32 centimeters one.
Yeah, it's 32 centimeters.
It's only €125.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, for Kai Boyesen, it's not bad at all. Because the bloody monkeys are so expensive when they're that size.
You can get it in black, half the size, half the price.
Usually it's the other way around. But
that's what she said.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
No,
so
like I was telling Willie
Michael?
on Instagram and whatnot, the 17s are probably one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah.
Especially now, it's so balanced, and the bass is from front to rear. It's like there's no dip anywhere.
So what kind of movies have you been watching? Or have you just been listening to music?
Mostly music, but also done some Dolby Atmos test videos and that sort of stuff.
Oh, they are boomy.
Yeah. Yep. But they're fun.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
Okay, we plateaued on the temperature. That's good. Sorry.
But yeah, it's a huge difference with hide speakers or without. Like I initially always said like 5.1 is a must, but I'm almost more of the opinion now that if you can, you should add hide speakers.
I mean, you're not getting Atmos at all, but it's
close enough.
It adds volume, though. It adds volume.
Yeah, it works really good with the True Image processor, but I have to say, True Atmos is better.
Yeah, probably. But then again, you sort of lose B&O, which...
Yeah. But I mean, the hide speakers on the True Image processor is working really, really, really good.
I mean, I must say, with one of the HDR Dolby Atmos test tracks, whenever it's pointing upward sound, it does come from up above you. Now.
Yeah. I mean, the True Image processor is doing a really, really good job.
Yeah. Also, good news for the Harmony, I guess, and probably also for the Eclipse, is Dolby let the restriction go of not being allowed to upmix from their Dolby signal. So, I don't know. That seems,
shit, eh?
Yeah, that seems like B&O could really profit from, in the sense of sound design and whatnot.
Yep.
Tank is empty.
But, yeah, it's... I mean, I'm amazed. It actually...
Score! Go ahead.
It actually lifts the 50s up more, because I told Willie it as a sort of heresy story that like the 50s and 17s together come really too fucking close to the 90s now. Because
bullshit. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, nope. I don't care. When was the last time you listened to it like this?
I never listened. I listened to 50s once and they were incorrectly set up.
On Tuesday.
Okay, and have you literally directly compared it to set up like this?
No.
Yeah. So, from like as in clarity and or accuracy, the 50s aren't that far off. Where I would say the 50s are slightly more off the 90s than the 50s is like how wide, like the 90s sort of come literally to here when they stereo image. And the 50s sort of do that, if that makes any sense. They
don't come all the way almost. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is literally what this
I know
fixes
exactly
now.
What you mean.
Yeah, but the 50s
so it
don't come
brings
close
us
to
the
90s.
development.
Yeah. Wait, you don't
Did you
think
get
so?
your Facebook sorted out, by the way? Just like offside question. Did you get your Facebook sorted out?
No, they blocked me.
Oh, okay. Because if you did, I would have unfriended your monkey ass right the fuck now.
No, Facebook blocked me. They don't believe
Why?
I'm a real person
Oh,
for
you're
some reason.
Yeah, you look like a bot a little bit.
I had a Facebook group that that is called Things for Sale in Copenhagen, and there were around 70,000 people in it, and I hated that. I hated it because it was way too much management and stuff. So I just put it to the side and didn't think about it. And then this one guy it was on Tuesday as well, he wrote me on Messenger, so is that Things for Sale in Copenhagen, is that for sale? And I was just like, sure, why not? So I sold it to this guy for 0.20, what is that, krona per user to this guy?
Bitcoin?
Huh?
0.20 Bitcoin.
No, that was a good deal.
Am I laggy now? Because you guys are getting choppy and the phone is getting
A
warm.
little bit once in.
Oh, you look good.
Thanks.
But wait, so how far away would you say the 50s are from the 90s then?
A long way.
Really?
Yeah.
40%. I would say 40%.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. I mean, I have no problem saying the 90s are better and by quite a healthy margin, but not by that much.
I would say yes, they are.
I would say the 90s
maybe.
are about 20% better to 25, depending on what you're doing. But
I mean, if you
Okay.
take the 90s compared to the 50s, I think you get 50% more. At least.
In volume output, at least, for fuck's sakes, man. They're 8,200 watts versus 22.
You get
it's not about that.
Speaker.
Okay, my utilities of the 90s, or my utility of the 90s, varies very much of what I'm doing. And some of those things are not possible with the 50s just because of the fact that they are essentially front-firing speaker. Mm-hmm. So if I sit where I sit right now, camping on the balcony, which is a lot of the time, smoking cigars and whatever, I set my speakers to Omni mode. And I actually made a speaker group now that points the sound towards the back. This master here, it points towards the fucking window, and the other one shoots through the balcony door. Way, way, way different sound. And I'm going to tune it one of those nights. It has to be sometime between 11 o'clock at night and midnight, where the planes don't fucking fly, as you can hear it right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put a microphone out here, and I'm going to tune them for the balcony so I can actually have sound coming in here if I don't buy that goofy Bluetooth transmitter soon enough. But I've only listened to the 90s once, or sorry, the 50s once, and it was in the shop, and they were, I would say, incorrectly set up, because they were set up more or less the sweet spot. It's funny, because if you hear them for the first time, you don't even know what the fuck you're really listening to, because it's just overwhelming. But for a person like myself that's been around 90s for 2 years, and you come to the shop and you stand behind the couch, you know, the little Archie B&O couch that they have, the 2-splitter. Mm-hmm. So they had that, and then you sit in the middle of it, and you listen, and you look at the speakers, and you close your eyes, and like, dude, like, that image is like, if you were to be on axis here, this is where you're sitting. So the peak of it is essentially they tuned it for the fucking guy that's demoing the speakers.
Yeah.
Why do you need to hear that as a sales guy? Fuck you and everything that you wrote in on here today with, because you know what? You're the one that sells these speakers. You should sell the experience, and maybe if you sell enough, you would be able to afford it from the commission to buy yourself your own goddamn set so you can point them the proper way to you. That's what I.
Yeah.
And I have an issue with it. The most proper demo that I've ever gotten was in the Herning store. Not for the 90s, because they didn't have them then yet, because they weren't even released at the point of time. But the most proper demo for all the speakers that I've ever gotten was in the Herning store.
I actually got invited before the release of the 90s to listen to them in a Danish shop after hours. So I got there with my buddies.
When was that? 2015?
Huh? Come again?
What year was that? That must have been 2015 when they were first released. Like, yeah, it was years ago. Well, 95.
We were 2 people,
or 90th
and we got into the store, and they gave us champagne and everything, and we were the only 2 people in the store. So we were about to listen to the 90s, and he fired up some music on the 90s, and I was just like, "What the fuck? This sounds so bad. I don't understand the price point. I don't understand anything about this product." And he was just like, "Don't you think it sounds really good?" And I was just like, "Nope, it sounds awful. I mean, I'd rather have the 5s." And then they...
Was it before the ABL was tuned up properly?
Yeah.
Then they sounded awful. But
you shouldn't show it to customers then. It was so bad. I was just like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving," but I'm drinking the champagne.
I heard them for the first time in it was end of October 2015 when I got invited, which I was one of the top 10, I guess, pro partners in North America at the time, and I got invited to those speakers demo, and I wanted to go. Like, just like, I'm fucking going no matter what, man. This is wicked. So I go in. And when we first heard those speakers, it was pretty funny though, because they had the 9s. What's going on with the watches?
Sam asked, "What kind of watches do we like, and what do we wear?"
Oh, I wear an Oakley watch. I don't have it on me right now. I do have a Rolex, which is sitting in the little thing that spins and winds it indefinitely. Still keeps time pretty good, but I like my Oakley watch because I don't feel like guilty. $4,000 versus $12,000. There's a little different when you're fucking in the rack.
I have a stupid thing about watches. So, who was asking about this?
So,
Sam.
So do I, Henrik. So do I.
So, Sam, I don't know if you're in Copenhagen sometimes, but I have like, yeah. Come and watch the watch. It's fun. Yeah. I love it. I'm
gonna bring mine out and fuck y'all. Hold on a second.
I mean, coming back to 50s and 90s, I just also last 2-3 days ago used this cable mesh to retune them.
Yeah.
Because the first few days I listened without calibration just to see if the ticking would come back or not, and it didn't. And now they're set perfectly, and it's like it's so clear. Even in the bedroom, there's like no degradation of voices, which is kind of eerie sometimes, because sometimes I can't tell especially if I'm listening to something, if my girlfriend is talking to me or if it's the TV that's on. But I also listen.
I always got a kick out of that. Sorry, go ahead.
But I also listened to 90s that were set up perfectly, almost perfectly. It was kind of bizarre because the sweet spot was set up for, like, there were 2 chairs, and the sweet spot was right in the middle of the chair. 2 chairs, so whenever you sat, like, you heard the sweet spot on either side.
That's stupid.
That's what's screwed up about the 90s, that you move your hand 6 inches or even less, 15 centimeters, that's all it needs, and you lose that image. It's crazy.
Yeah, you need to make it a bit wider.
So, but my watch collection.
Yeah, but I mean, I handily concede the 90s are better, but if you use them as like if you use them the way I have set up here, where like Omni mode is basically useless. If you sort of ditch all that, then there is still a difference, but the difference isn't so huge anymore. Because, like, if I were to have them, I would only really use them as forward-firing speakers. Because, like, I mean, my neighbors wouldn't like the Omni. Yeah.
See, but you don't really have a utility for it. I do, because mine actually fire towards the balcony, right? Yeah. So I do utilize that, so it's a little different. So this is the watch that I've gotten from my, now ex-wife. This is a long, long time ago. So this is an Oakley Judge, and you can't even fucking get those anymore. They're very, very expensive on eBay, I guess. And then this is a watch from 1998 that is an Oakley time bomb. This is when first Michael Jordan got involved with Oakley brand and actually turned them the fuck around. And then this is the most expensive one of them that they've made, which is the Oakley Time Bomb 2. And that one is, or was cool enough till Lance Armstrong got caught fucking doping, or got caught doping, and then the whole thing fell in, well, the watch never fell in price. It actually got more value in it. So when I first gotten that one, or I was able to get my hands on it, I think I tossed $4,700 on eBay for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same 25 joule movement that is in the Rolex Submariners, and I have the Submariner, which is the two-tone gold with the blue dial. I don't want to get it because I don't want to fuck with it, but I can bring it if you want. So, but I don't wear that because I have too much guilt fucking that one up. So I wear a $4,000 watch.
It's only for events and stuff like that. A watch like that. You don't go working with a Rolex like that on your arm.
I use mine as a beater. I mean, this is a.
They're very resilient.
This is a Submariner. It's from '92,
mm-hmm.
and it is my daily driver.
Daily
I also have a smartwatch.
So you still have the holes on the sides. Yeah. You still have the holes on the sides.
Yep.
I bought mine in 2004, and 2005 edition came with those the side holes where you can poke the bracelet out.
Yeah.
They took it out. They took those out, and they also started engraving Rolex all the way around the inner bezel where the dial is.
They don't do that in '92.
But no.
The dials for if you have to go in a swimsuit and something.
So one question for you, because you do travel quite a bit. Do you find if you go to North America with this watch, does it change the accuracy of the time? Did you ever notice that?
Nope.
Because I had noticed that. That's one of the reasons why the tourbillon was invented. So it actually negates the gravitational pull of the Earth, regardless of where you are on the planet. Where I find my Rolex ran.
It's always the same.
My Rolex ran 5 minutes faster in Europe every time I was there. A month. Than here.
Mine doesn't in US or anything. It's the same. I did have one issue. I went with my family to Spain, and we went into the pool a few years ago. And when I got out of the pool, it actually had some inside of the glass. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? So I called Rolex on the phone.
300 meters.
You can go down to 300. So I was just like, what the fuck? I'm in the pool. So I called Rolex on the phone, and they said, well, you just need to come down to the shop. And then I went down there, and they tore that watch apart. And I was just like, fuck. And then they were like, you can get it. You can take it home in a plastic bag and get your local dealer to look at it. And I was fucking crying in that store, and my wife was beside me, and my brother was singing a song. He's never getting his Rolex back and something like that, just to piss me off.
So the crown seal failed.
Huh?
The crown seal failed.
Yeah, exactly. So the guy in the white kettle, he came out and said, well, I'm going to fix it for you. Just give me, I think it was 4 days, because they need to pressure test it as well. So they fixed
and
it.
7 million kroners.
No, it was cheap. It was cheap. I mean, a service here in Copenhagen is around $800, but down there it was like $400 or $500. Yep. Cheap.
Interesting. Yeah, but it's
how often are you with your hands in racks or server racks and that sort of crap?
I'm the boss. I don't do that.
Yeah, so in that case, I wouldn't be that worried about wearing a watch to work either. But if you're pulling wires everywhere...
No, I don't do that.
Yeah,
I pull wires.
I would actually kind of like to go back to that again, to do some server stuffs and pulling some cables. Right now, I mean, if I have to say so, I'm a pretty great technician, but right now I'm looking in Excel sheets and doing stupid stuff on email and.
Oh, Christ. But you know what,
Accounting
though?
and
I agree
such.
with you.
I mean,
You know what? There's a big difference in a work, not even work ethic satisfaction, I would say, but in a work satisfaction altogether. There's two different ways that you can be satisfied, in my opinion. Like doing the installs with the B&O, like the physical labor of it all. Like it's just you pull the cables, and I have the clients involved, so they see what the fuck is going on because it just doesn't magically appear places, right? So you do that, and then the most thankless job, because the most appreciated one is actually the installation, the measuring, the blah blah blahs, doing the clean install with the absolute zero damage type of thing, and then you have the programming, where you sit like a total dickhead, looking like you're browsing your own Facebook account on their fucking kitchen countertop, but you're programming the gateway, right? Like to me, that is, people have no idea what you're doing because it's just like, when you're looking at your phone, right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's going on? And it's a never-ending wonder. But then at the end, when you start, okay, this now, press this button, boom, 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 macro start, this and that, and fucking things happen, and they're like, oh wow. And I did the gateway setup. This was by far the fastest Beolink gateway setup that I had done so far. No, it's not. It's still a minimum macros because they have homework, and I'm gonna hit them hard on Monday morning with the results because I want to get the notes so I can program the rest of it. But I had the gateway set up within 2 hours, installed, programmed, fucking all the basics, a little bit of macros and things and such and whatever. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because
is that partially because it copy paste from what you've done at home as well, or?
No. Ground up, factory default reset. I don't copy stuff over.
They'll just get a copy of Willie's house. So when they go inside the door, the system will play.
The lights will go on, and that's right.
85%, and the bathroom will start filling up the bathtub and playing music, and yeah.
I would really love to have automated valves for my bathroom shower or bath thing. Cool. Like it's just with the gateway, fucking, this is the water temperature that you've set for, and boom, it comes up and freaking shuts off when it's filled 14 minutes later. That'd be sick. I would love to have that integration. The one integration that I'm still really, really longing for is to tie in my Schlage lock into the gateway.
That is the biggest. Z-Wave has automatic water valves.
Yeah, but you need to fucking build a driver on the gateway for it, and I have no idea because I don't talk Lua, and that's what the language that the gateway is written in, and I'm not a programmer on that specific sophisticated level.
I have a question, guys.
Go for it.
So here's to me to know my limits.
What is your take on the Beoplay is out and on the go is in, and the Beosound 1 is the flexible living something, and then you have the TV, the 50s, and the speakers is called staged. Do you like that, Captain?
Yeah. You know what? The only thing I don't like is the children of the fucking corn on the Instagram again with the
Bang and Olufsen
whatever
on Instagram.
John, honestly, you did a greatest job in the picture and depicting the irony of it all. But the children of the corn have to go.
Yeah, I actually unsubscribed from Bang and Olufsen on Instagram because they don't show anything. It's just fucking stupid people with stupid
bunch of
pictures.
Fucking underfed vegan hipsters in a vague brown fucking fall clothing, holding on to shit because they can't lift the goddamn Beolab.
And I want to give a shout out to John from Manchester. Follow this guy instead. Bang & Olufsen.
He's
MCR,
in the description down below, by the way.
Because
he's the real deal.
His pictures are way cooler than Bang & Olufsen's.
And if you look at Bang & Olufsen now, the last 6 pictures are all of products, though.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, when I tagged you guys, when they showed the 18 and the Eclipse,
I know. I like that shit a lot.
I mean, actually, Bang and Olufsen gave me a like as well for that comment.
So they should.
I mean, I comment.
That's a dick. Please like it.
I mean, I literally said a good job, actually great product, and no hipsters needed or to be seen, and they liked it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Maybe they're watching.
I don't know.
So, but it's just, you know.
I hate Bang & Olufsen Instagram.
Well, they're getting the last 6 pictures at least are all of non-hipsters. They're all product related.
They're picking it back up, Henrik. They're picking it back up. They're understanding the fact that the Beyond Meat fucking movement is gone now. Like, just piss off already.
Yeah, but the next thing they need to do on their Instagram, if they have to keep up this pace, is now we're not eating meat anymore. And
oh dear Lord, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
You know what they should do? They should promote the 90s a little more. They
what is
should
that
promote
front
the 50s
grill
a
on
little
the
more.
Eclipse right there? I actually
this
saw
one,
this
I
picture.
think it's smoked. It's oak. Let's see.
Nope. Go back.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, this is...
Yeah, it's a very light kind of wood. I don't know what it is.
It is, and I've never seen that before.
Maple? Can't be maple.
I've never seen this wood before.
I have
That's
a feeling
legit.
it may be the regular wood, but just color corrected a bit too much.
I mean,
Well, there's only oak.
it's a light wood.
Oak. I can see it, but like, would it look like a beech wood almost?
Yeah. It's very
That's
light.
overcorrect.
It's lighter than the normal oak on the...
And
It's
if
a
you
lot
look at
lighter than the
18s
normal oak on the
besides it,
18s.
Yeah, there is something wrong.
I think it's color correction.
Well, it's not gonna-
Unless it's new, but I almost doubt it.
I don't think they would reintroduce maple when they discontinued maple from the 18s. Because
No.
if they were to do that, they would have to reintroduce it also the 50s too, because there's
Yeah.
lamellas on that shit.
Yeah. I just
So,
saw that picture and
I don't know.
It's like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This bourbon's so good.
What kind of bourbon is it?
And this is Woodford Reserve.
Hmm.
Show you the empty tank. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. It's good. It's not as good as the double-barreled one, but they don't have that in stock right now, so I go with that. But my favorite is Jefferson's.
I actually, by the way,
Uncle
I
Jeff-
don't know if it's up on the screen yet for you, Henrik, but I spoke to John about this picture, and he said they
It's
had the
amazing.
hardest time keeping straight faces while doing this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so fucking perfect.
It
It's
so is too.
perfect.
I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah,
Here, can you put up the Bang & Olufsen picture as
Yeah,
well?
it's up now, on my end anyway.
Okay.
it's side by side. I
Yeah.
love it, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I do just think that John should actually be the one at the bottom. He should change place with Jenny.
I thought about it too, just to make it accurate as fuck.
It would
But
be
yeah,
fun.
it's still-
John should be at the bottom.
Yeah, I
And then
bet
Jenny
that's
with
music to
headphones.
Jenny's ears.
Then it should be an outtakes to how many holes they had to bite in their lips, not trying to laugh at that shit when they were doing it. That's another thing. Because, man, the pictures now, like, I don't quite remember the exact point of time when they just went to, like, vegetarian BNO, but it did occur very rapidly. It was like a tsunami of faggotry that just swept over the fucking Instagram account for them. Whoever would hire it in there should reconsider.
Yeah, spend some more
But-
money elsewhere,
yeah,
goddammit.
Yeah.
The last few, maybe you should, instead of, have people post their images of the houses and whatever,
But, I mean,
or,
the
you know,
thing
I think it would be cheaper for them to pay for a photographer to travel around the people's places and take shots of the real product then what the fuck it costs them to get hired one of these, or a couple of these underfed vegans in there to look pale.
But I think those tofu kind of people, no. I think that they actually, they should just, they did a hashtag called BeoTravel.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually posted a lot of pictures from BeoTravel. And if you go on Instagram and you look up the tag BeoTravel, you get some really cool pictures. And it's free advertisement. People who actually put up pictures. I mean, we did a picture of
Real life.
We did a picture of my wife that we should use for Bang and Olufsen. And I mean, you can get some cool pictures. And I mean, they should just look into it instead of that stupid things they're doing. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Apparently, money is scarce, but the marketing budget has no bounds. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'd rather them work on some more software things.
Agreed. Yeah, like get the fucking moment back up and running, eh? How about that? Here's a thought.
I don't know what to say about
Nobody's asking you, Henry. Henry, thank you. No, they should. Because at the end of the day, I still have 4 months left on the warranty on the product and it doesn't work anymore. So what do?
Send it back.
You take it down to the floor and just
see what you get at the recycling plant for it.
Yep.
Fuck all. It's not even worth melting.
I wonder if in the small text the warranty is more for the actual parts than for the software bit of it.
Of course it is. They're not going to commit to the software licensing blah 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 things because they don't really have control over it.
But coming back to your new lines thing, I personally don't like that they sort of brought Beoplay back into the main brand.
But it's called Beoplay. It's called On The Go.
Sure, but what the fuck was the need for? Because Beoplay was almost, really is a staple already. And then we're just renaming it for the sake of it.
Yep.
And that's partially what I don't like. Also, since it's now under the umbrella of the main brand, and more directly so, like all the crap with headphones and whatnot will follow to the main brand.
Mm-hmm.
Versus where it was sort of an like a B brand, if almost.
It was its own. Yeah, it was its own. Yeah.
I don't think that. I actually think that all the new products is going to have the full logo Bang and Olufsen compared to the B&O.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's going to have a B&O just like it has in the freaking trucks and whatever else have you nowadays, like in the Ford.
Yeah, but Ford has Beoplay in it.
Yep, and that doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Sense.
Like it's the B&O.
Well, it's not even B&O; it's Beoplay, literally.
We're actually trying to get a Ford with the Beoplay system for my channel to do a review on it. So hopefully we'll get that in the next week or 2 weeks.
It sounds good from what I'm heard or told. I haven't.
I just think that it will be for my channel. I think I have the possibility to do a test on the SLS with a Bang & Olufsen system, and we could do an Audi Q8 or whatever, or Q7, but I just think that it would be fun to do a Ford with a Beoplay system. So that's what I'm working on right now, actually, for my channel.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, if you're going to review, I think that the fairness in that review would be if you were to do the Ford with the Beoplay system, and you can go chopping up a block all the way up to a fucking Q8 or A8 with the upgraded B&O, the tweeters come out with the advanced sound system package. I think you'd be better off. Fuck's sakes! I think you'd be better off with standard A3 or Technic A3, of course, not standard because then you got a bullshit speakers that Audi Harmony system. But I would go against 760 watt A3 system versus the Beoplay.
Yeah, but I don't have a say in this.
Fair comparison.
I don't have a say in this. Bang & Olufsen is trying to give me I think it was an Audi Q8 or a Ford, and
Yeah.
I told them that I'd rather have the Ford. Well, I really don't, but I mean, I think the
Q8.
best. I think the content will be best if it was the Ford. So it will
Yes.
be the wife's car, get a Ford Fiesta with the Beoplay system or whatever, and I think that will be a pretty cool
I agree. It's also for a
episode.
wider range. Like how many people are able to buy a Q8 or whatever.
Exactly.
I mean,
But
it's nice and it's dreamy, but like the chances of you ever actually being in it and therefore being
yeah,
useful advice is kind of next to none.
but we're working on it right now as we speak. Actually, I just mailed some people, and yeah.
That sounds good.
Hmm?
I mean,
I'm interested.
yeah, I mean, B&O in the Audis, especially in the higher end Audis, is very nice. I personally haven't heard the BeoPlay yet.
I haven't either. I've heard
No,
the
I'm not. Neither.
Bang and Olufsen system in the SLS. And I'm definitely gonna do a episode of that just because it's an SLS. I
Yeah,
mean,
why not?
the talk wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
That's
just have the
right.
keys, so I was just like, okay, let's do it.
I mean, if somebody lends me their Ferrari, I'm gonna drive it and make a video out of it. I mean, who
Yeah.
cares that there's no
No matter
B&O?
what. I'll be
So
right back.
I mean, I'll tie it in by recording the sound and playing it through the 50s or something.
yeah, we were actually thinking about getting the 50s because Mr. JWW did the Ferrari 90 video.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking about taking the Skyline and doing pops and bangs and put it through the 50s down the basement. But I mean, I don't think the 50s will last. No,
What do you mean?
I think they'll die.
I don't know. I think the ABL will kick in before it dies.
Oh yeah, definitely. But if we just figure out that, I mean, when I do a drive-by,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 113 dB.
I think that's mightily close to what the 50s are able to do, though.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Beolab 50. Let's see. Hey,
So on all the tracks in Denmark and in Sweden, you are only able, you can only be as loud as 95 dBs. So last time I was on a track day, I had to drive 120 kilometers an hour down the straight because that was where the microphone was.
yeah.
Because it's louder. It is louder than the Ferrari, I think. But that's because it
By
sounds like
1
everything is gonna
decibel.
fucking explode. Stupid car.
Yeah. Stupid B&O. Quit it! With the fucking sound. I'm trying to look at the website, but they have shit playing nowadays. God damn it. Well, there'll be a strike from YouTube or something. Get to I don't like this new site change. It looks somewhat sleeker, but the whole spec range that you used to find at the bottom is now in weird drop-down menus.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Because before it literally said something like 110, I'm pretty sure, decibel that it could do the 50s. But I can't seem to find it now.
I don't know.
These will definitely damage your hearing.
Yes. Well, so will 50s. I mean, Jesus. I mean, they were comfortably over 100 decibel. That's what I know for sure. I just don't know how much they're over 100. And 100 is fucking loud.
It is loud. I mean, it's really, really loud.
I usually listen to the shit about 80.
Yeah, I know.
Is my average.
Yeah.
That's my average speed. 80 decibels an hour.
Well, the new materials don't tell you anymore how loud they go for some reason. So,
But you probably get a picture of some stupid hipster besides the speaker.
no, actually, some
just
weird sort of lamp.
Potato.
Yeah. It's like one of these lamps that you apparently it looks like it's on like a little carpet in the middle of a room somewhere. So it's like I have a hallway in the middle is a lamp on the carpet. It's like you live
That's
there.
why I listen to my music. That's why I listen to my music properly. I like to lay down in my hallway and listen to my M50s.
Well, if you call John, that's what happens apparently. Whenever he's on the phone, he lays down.
It's gotta be a disorder of some sorts. John, we're gonna have to talk to you about this.
Yeah, like his boomerang TV.
Yeah. I mean, John is the perfect example to sell a soundbar.
Yes.
He should get a soundbar.
I think he is, actually.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm buying one of him, so...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going for the bedroom, right?
Yeah. I mean,
why not a Harmony?
For the bedroom.
No, for the living room and then the Eclipse in the bedroom.
Who says there? Well, I don't want the Eclipse in the bedroom. The bed is too high. I mean, unless I put...
Turn it upside down.
Unless I put the Eclipse on like a pedestal or something.
It should be on a pedestal.
Yeah, it's... No. Not with my cats.
Get one of those STB brackets.
I don't
they
feel
work
like...
pretty well.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It doesn't need to swivel anyway. It doesn't need to swivel anyway. Plus, I mean, it's...
But the STB bracket doesn't swivel. Like, if you get the flat mount bracket, it's just... You take off the goofy... the end caps that the TV basically hangs on, and then you put the end caps that they provide you with, and Bob's your uncle. It's the install that I have on my Instagram.
I guess, though, for like just a TV and the TV speaker bar or whatever you want to call it, I'd rather have... if that's it for the room, I think I'd rather have the Beosound stage.
What about you, Willie? Are you going to get a Harmony?
Me? Not in this apartment. Couldn't get out of the goddamn balcony then. 65 was too wide already.
Oh,
I considered the Avant 75, and by my measurements, it would have hit the 90s if it would have been rotating out to make room for the balcony door. So I had to settle for 55 Avant because I just got tired of the Eclipse at the time. And when the SSC board went, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I got it replaced, and then it just went, and that was it. I never had to worry about it again. And the only problem that I had with the Eclipse was being used to the Avant and the B&O's processing of the picture. I found the darks were way too dark. Like, you know, if you have a shot with the person that were like Mikey has black t-shirt, like all that detail is washed out, the creases and everything else. Like, it just, it loses that. And Avant doesn't still. So I still like that about that TV. But till it lives, I'll live with it. And when it dies, then I move on.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm still eyeing a Harmony, though, somewhat.
I am too.
I mean, I kind of really
when
like
I move out of here, when I move out of here, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I will get to Harmony when I move out of here. I need to afford more space. I'm
keen about the 65-inch Harmony.
Yes, that's nice too.
That would be an option.
The only thing I don't like, and the thing that my wife don't like, is that you won't be able to take it out from the wall.
Yeah.
The orbital stand really designed, and it's just we've talked about this and beaten it to the ground. But I do agree with you as well. At the scenario that I'm in right now, I would definitely require an orbital stand. Where if I were to be like in a Mikey's environment where it's against the flat wall where you don't have to walk by the fucker and you have the shades now, then that makes total sense now because now you're not having it washed out by the sun and it's not really in the way. And the picture or display is large enough that I guess the necessity of turning it really becomes obsolete.
Yeah.
Would that be the way to assume, I guess?
Yeah.
But that's how I look at it. It's just for me,
I would be eyeing the
with B&O
77 though, personally. I mean, sort of go big or go home.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of
it would
money.
look good there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's
actually, it would be closer to the wall than this is at the moment.
You have the room, Michael, to do it. You should go 88.
Yeah.
No.
In the same token, I would wait at least a year for that TV to be in production before they knock out all the kinks and shit.
I measured it out,
really
actually,
don't want to be
with my dealer once he brought the new Master 50, the 88, and it's almost from 50 to 50. Like, you have like 40 centimeters either side. It's so enormous.
Holy shit. But I would wait before I would commit to it, because I wouldn't want to be, and I never was a first adopter other than the 90s. I was never a first adopter with B&O. And
I have a feeling that Harmony is probably fine because it mostly works on Eclipse parts.
I actually think that Harmony will be the TV they will introduce with the least amount of failures.
Yes.
I really hope so.
Because it's an evolution, not a revolution again.
Exactly.
That, and also it's now LG's at the driving seat or steering wheel, more or less, than B&O themselves.
Yeah.
Because they just did the mechanics and the sound, and LG's doing the picture part of it all.
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody is good at something, let them do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. That's why you hire professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I have no problem with I mean, a lot of people complain, or I feel are like sort of nitpicking that like Panasonic is slightly better or something like that, or has the best OLED panel. But if you then check, it's like literally in the margins that it's like 3 to 4% better at best.
Can you actually see that?
Side by side, probably, but then you're dealing with Panasonic, and that has an Android system. So can you see it in the apps not working properly? Definitely.
Fuck.
I mean, and I'd rather have WebOS. I mean, it's the same problem as Apple has, as in it's a closed garden, but that also saves it once it works properly.
Yes. Yeah, but the WebOS works flawless now.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I don't know. We actually just had a discussion about this on the Danish forum, and I don't give a rat's ass. Let's have a TV that will turn on, have a good picture quality, amazing sound, and I will be able to connect my Apple TV 4K. I don't care about WebOS. I don't care about Android. I don't care about the smart TV part of it, because within 6 months, the smart TV and the processor inside the TV won't work worth a shit anyways. So who gives a rat's ass about it? Give me a panel that is amazing. Give me a sound that sounds amazing. Give me an HDMI board where I can plug in my Apple TV 4, and I'll be able to use my Beo remote to control that Apple TV. That's what I want. I just want a fucking panel.
That's the Harmony, literally.
Nobody watches TV anymore. Flow TV is out. I mean, here in Denmark, you have like a few providers who will give you Flow TV, but nobody's using it anymore. A lot of people is just using streaming through the Apple TV, through the apps that you can get on that. In Denmark, you have Telia, you have UC, that is Beoplay, which is actually apps on the TV, on the Apple TV, where you can watch the television shows. If you want to, you can watch Flow TV through the apps on the Apple TV. Just give me a panel. Give me a fucking computer screen with the best sound ever. That's what I want.
Well, that's also what I like about the Harmony, is that you can keep updating the panel, unlike the Eclipse.
Yeah.
Like, you keep the best bit, and then the TV bit, like, even if you wait until, I don't know, February, March, around that time, you have the option of, do you want the C9 panel or the C10 panel?
I just want the best panel right now.
Yeah, well, in that case, you can choose the best panel or get the C9 panel at a massive discount.
Yeah.
Well, how much of a difference is between a C9 and C10 really? Processing? That would be the only thing really.
I mean, is it the C7 on the
on the Clips? Yeah.
I saw the C9 a few days ago.
It's big,
and it is better.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Let me say that it's better, and it's a lot better. I mean, the Clips is amazing TV, and the picture quality is crazy. But the C9 panel,
it's a good 15% better.
15?
Well, it depends on what you do. Like if you want to, if you have we're starting to get that a bit 4K sources now finally, then the C9 is a lot better. Yeah. But if for normal regular SD TV, not even HD TV, then it's sort of similar. HD TV, the C9 is a lot better again.
But 4K, wow.
Yeah, well, that's a different story.
I mean, even with HDR, it's so much better.
Yep.
Like HDR content on the Netflix or YouTube or whatever, it's a lot better because especially in the near dark areas, there's next to no issues anymore.
Guys, I have to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it because it's 10:15. We've had way too many issues today.
I just been through the exact same.
So
it sucks.
I don't know what's going on. It's not on my side. Internet was stable the whole time. Whatever.
Don't blame Canada.
Blame Canada and blame YouTube and
blame Canada.
Yeah. Links as always are down in the descriptions also to John and Steve and whatnot. And we'll be back next week, hopefully without issues. And subscribe, all that sort of jazz. And I'll probably re-upload later because I recorded and YouTube fucked up. Anyway, see you next week.
That's it. See you guys. Bye.